afternoon everybody, welcome to another video where today I'm currently here on Carver Street just off Islington in the Everton area, and I'm going to walk down Shaw Street. But before I do, I want to show you a couple of fascinating buildings, because Everton is a place of stark contrast. Crumbling remnants of post-industrial neglect stand alongside modern regeneration projects. I'll take this building for example. It was a music academy, and you can see on the top balcony, if I zoom in, it's like a harp, like a little bit like a harp. I forgot what they call it, it's a lyre or something like that, like a musical clef type thing. But one of them regeneration projects is this university building, now owned by Liverpool Hope University, same as that one, but obviously that is part of it. It will be getting done up, but I don't know if you can see there, this one is done up to a very fine standard also. Number 3, Islington Square. Now this building was originally built in the 1830s. It is grade 2 listed. Now it was home to Liverpool Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children between 1885 and 1944, before being used as a health centre, which was my doctor's as a child in the mid-90s. I remember it well. A sterile yet strangely comforting feel, although the walls were painted in like a seafoam green, and the scent of that, you know, that rubbing alcohol, like a surgical spirit mixed with floor cleaner, lingered in the air. And oh my, that smell is evocative of my childhood, and I'm getting it right now. Anyone remember when that was, what was it called? Office? It was like an office place, wasn't it? Now we'll turn onto Shaw Street, where, like the whole of Everton, is a place steeped in history, woven into its streets, like this one on Shaw Street, and its magnificent skyline, which I will show you a little bit later. Now this is a former Baptist chapel, was built in 1847, and maybe think they are flats now, but someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think I am wrong. I'm told it was a Jewish synagogue many years ago, but other people have told me that it wasn't, and that the Jewish synagogue was knocked down during the World War II Blitz, and I think that might be correct. I think that's that was just a Baptist chapel, which is now kind of apartments, I think. But we move on.
We'll wake up at 10.
And look at this stunning Tudor, Gothic, Victorian kind of architecture. I have got a 1890s photograph of the former collegiate, of course grade 2 listed, built between 1840 and 1843. It was opened in 1843 by the Prime Minister William Gladstone, and it's now apartments. Stunning apartments they must be. It's more than just a stunning building, it's a living history of Liverpool's Victorian aspirations, educational heritage and contemporary regeneration. If you go at the back of that building, it's very, very modern. I don't know whether I can get round the back. If I can, I'll overlay it, but it looks nothing like the front. Even the front is just kind of like a, you can see in them windows there, I'll try and zoom in, it's just a kind of a shell really, and there's no glass in them. But yeah, absolutely stunning architecture. Again, it's something I've passed for many years and not really took much notice of, but it's huge. I absolutely love the detail as well at the very top, very castle-esque. But at the top here, we kind of have like statues. That looks like it's a bit of a a bit of a headless man. But yeah, absolutely stunning, isn't it? I believe there's around 95 apartments in there. And I didn't believe it when I read it, but looking at the size of it, it's possibly quite true. And this is Unity Square. It is very studenty around here. We do have a lot of campuses. College Street North. Liverpool students living there. Now looking down Langsdale, you'll see SFX Church there on the left, which dates back all the way to 1843. And on the right, the impressive red and white brick building is the Whitechapel Centre, a homeless day centre established back in 1975, a fantastic charity that has helped thousands and thousands of people. But on the corner, the famous Victorian terraces along Shore Street. Now this end one, the number 41, which I can see there, number 43 and 45 next to it, housed many vulnerable men as they all three of them were men's hostels back in the 1970s. Again, I have pictures which I will insert or overlay. But before they were hostels in the 70s, I have a picture that reads Owens Boarding House, should I say, from the 1900s, early 1900s. And I'll try and get the exact, because this drain pipe here is the exact same as on the picture. So where I'm stood now, you can see the blue door and this drain pipe that runs down almost centre of the picture. I will overlay the picture that I've got. It's fancy, early 1900s, Owens Boarding House it was called. So it's always been a place helping vulnerable people. By the way, also, I just want to cross over and show you, because there did used to be a number 39. So where this, you can see where the pavements are different colours, there's kind of like a bit of an outline there. That used to be number 39, Shore Street. And an old picture of this building that was here has Leo McGree House above the door, and I'll show you the picture what it was like. Now, I googled Leo McGree and found quite a powerful book about him, about the part that he played in the working class struggles in Liverpool. Now, Everton, which I grew up in, has long roots in working class culture. Teeming with tight-knit communities, there is a strong local identity here and very much Scouse pride, even as poverty and underinvestment continue to weigh heavily on parts of the community. But for me, it is a place where memory runs deep. The past never fully erased. I always come back, and probably best crossing down here. I always have good memories down here, and change does come. Change does come around here, but very slowly with grit and resilience. But look at these Victorian terraced houses here. There's some a bit further down here that obviously a little dated now, a little dilapidated even on the end there. But what we've just walked past there, the buildings we've walked past already here on Shore Street, which is so overlooked in my opinion. Even here on my right is the War Memorial within Everton Park. It's a gardens, it's a I forgot what the garden's called now. Is it Whitley Gardens? Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, this actually predates Everton Park. So although it's within Everton Park, it's actually it actually predates it. So it was here before Everton Park. Everton Park has grown a bit wild in places, which gives it a bit of a rugged, almost forgotten beauty. But at the top of Everton Park, which I will go up shortly, there's some absolutely stunning views. You can see kind of redevelopment there in the background. There was, and last time I come down here, there was still a bit of building left behind these bushes. I think there still is now, actually. It used to be a mechanics, I believe. If I think back rightly, I'm pretty sure it was a mechanics. But they've took kind of the buildings down. They kind of left the face of it for some reason, and it's just completely overgrown now. I'll get a little closer and have a little look. But by the way, we're not even at the highest point yet. The highest point is about 300 foot, which I'll go. Look at that view already. Yeah, you can still see there the front of the building, but the back of it has all been demolished now. Well, if you look there, yeah, Everton Autos. So yeah, I think I was right there. Everton Autos, off-the-shelf car parts. I don't know if you can see that in there. The sun is right on. Over there, the People's Church. Over there in Everton, the People's Club and the People's Church. I know it's a very tight-knit community, isn't it? But people from the outside don't see that. Do you think it deserves its bad name?
No, I don't think it does. I think there's lots of really interesting stuff here. So we're just standing by the park. Yeah. So there's some really lovely green spaces. I think there's some really interesting historical buildings as well. If you kind of look up from the road level, there's some amazing buildings. Lots of incredible history around the place.
That Shore Street especially has a bad name, probably because it connects to Netherfield Road. I don't know if you're familiar with Netherfield Road and the history there.
Absolutely.
But Shore Street's got so much history. Even this, I love this. They've left the front of this building here, but I love it. You've got Rupert's Tower, you've got a view from 300 foot up high. Lived down there long, have you?
So we lived in a different part of Liverpool for about 10 years and have moved a little bit closer into the city centre. Yeah. So actually it's great for getting into the city centre as well, so that's all good. But if you just walk a little bit further along there, you get the most amazing views across the Mersey, so I don't think you can beat that really.
Now some people don't want to be showing on camera, and that's great, but I'll still have a conversation with them and I'll stick to their, I'll respect they want to hide their identity. But she was a lovely lady and loved it here. She moved from a very nice part of Liverpool, what's classed as a nice part of Liverpool, and she's here in Everton and loves it, and she knew all about the history too. But look at that. Some lovely Victorian buildings, and again, even you can see SFX there, you can see the cathedral in the background. There's some absolutely stunning architecture. And then just on my right also, I'll put me through here, oh sugar, St Rupert's Tower, the Everton Lockup Tower. Now eventually, now you've got to think back in the day, there was a lot of dockers, a lot of immigrants from, I say immigrants, more migrants, because Ireland back then was part of the UK. And as there was so many people here and so many day trippers, it was considered necessary to build a local lockup to house drunks and unruly revellers overnight, and that was where it was. And you'll see this if anyone is watching not from Liverpool. This is what's on Everton Football Club's crest. St Rupert's Tower. Now before I get run over, I just want to show you, I've got a very old picture again, and it looks like it could be from here, which again I'll overlay, but we're now at the top of Everton Brow. Again, another absolutely stunning view from up here, from Everton Brow. I mean, this building in front is a bit of an eyesore, isn't it? If that wasn't there, you would have an absolutely... from here, I don't know if you can see, but I can certainly see St John's Beacon, and I can see... excuse me, I can actually see the wheel there. The Liverpool wheel. Now, of course, we're coming up to the end of Shore Street, or we're at the end of Shore Street, and we're now on Netherfield Road South. Now, this certainly does have a bit of a poor reputation, Netherfield Road. Mainly, what I remember back in the day was there was signs going right along here. It was something like curb crawlers, beware. It was a police patrol area, because especially, I think it's more down Netherfield Road North. There used to be a lot of prostitution that went on there. But again, is that not just a... we tend to see this, don't we, from a lot of working class areas, neglected areas, as it's moved on now to Shield Road, and there's other places, obviously, more than just Shield Road. Shield Road is kind of the main one, but it used to be down here. It's hard to believe that any of Everton Park used to have houses and businesses, but I have a picture of right here, which I will overlay now, and yeah, it's right here, and it's hard to believe that there was shops and businesses, and now look at it. And while it remains one of the most proud parts of Liverpool, you know, there is still a lot of redevelopment going on, but obviously a lot of green space, because it was, especially in the war, it was bad in the war. It got blitzed in the war, Everton. And as we do come up this way, does anybody remember? Sure, they were around where all these trees were in front of me. Well, this building on the left used to be called the Tugboat. I always remember that, because as a kid I'd laugh at the name. I won't go into why, but I think you can all know. Have a guess why. But yeah, I'm sure here on St George's Hill over there, but here where all these trees are, I'm sure was St George's Heights Flats. Misha, you're from Russia?
I'm from Russia, yeah.
Wow, that's unbelievable. You're around here. Are you a student, are you, Misha?
Yes, I am.
What are you studying?
I studied business management for bachelor's, and now I'm finishing my master's in marketing. So,
he's a clever man.
Yeah.
He's a clever man.
I try my best. Yeah, I try my best.
So obviously you're not from Everton, but you live in Everton.
Yeah, I live on London Road, so it's like 2 minutes from Everton. Yeah. So I spent like a lot of like days and different seasons here as well. Like I play footy in Everton Park as well.
The pitch.
Yeah,
on the pitch, yeah.
And I'd be like, for example, I work a few shifts on Anfield, right? And I always would walk through Everton as well. So like, I spend my time like here as well.
So what do you think of Everton as a whole and Everton Park?
I think it's nice overall. I know a lot of people say bad things about Everton, but honestly, I don't think maybe even 70% of it's true. I do believe, for example, Everton pits can have a bit more improvement, for example, because they are a bit weird, like with the rubbish and the old goals. But overall, I think it's pretty nice parks. You know, it's a pretty nice area.
Nice.
I think maybe like the improvement that the park can have is probably some lights along this road. For example, like me and some mates would like play at the Power League down the road, right? And like we would walk back here at night and it'd be very dark.
Yeah.
That can like create some like rough like energy and like the scary atmosphere. That can be an improvement as well. But yeah, to be honest with you, I've never had any problems.
Right. So you've never had any trouble with gangs or anything like that?
No, I haven't seen any, to be honest with you. Maybe the closest thing I'll probably have, and God willing, I won't have any. But I had I saw police stop someone, but that's not even just over there. It's not many people around it, you know. So
that's good to know, because there used to be a lot of trouble, gang-related trouble around here, but obviously you don't see that now. So that's really good. But thanks very much for your time, Ethan. But the architecture continues here on Netherfield Road North. St Polycarp Church of England, founded in 1883. I believe it closed, again, someone correct me if I'm wrong, in 1974. And it's no longer a church. But I honestly don't know. But it shows a clear reminder of the city's maritime and industrial heritage. Not at the top. It's almost 300. As we do make our way to above Liverpool, the top right here, there is a heritage trail here in Everton Park, and this statue here represents Molly Bushell, who developed a secret toffee recipe which became very popular with Everton Football Club. There is the Everton Dockworker, which you can see there. Liverpool, once the UK's busiest seaport, which saw thousands of dockers continuously load and unload goods, like this man here, and Kitty Wilkinson, who transformed public health with Liverpool's first free open-air public wash house on Burlington Street in 1895. I think we've actually spoke about her on a previous video as well. Obviously, Everton has its downsides. There is, rough places within Everton, but I just wanted to show you, a bit of a working class area and how it started, a bit of history into Everton, and just get some people's opinions on Everton, because sometimes it's not just all about my opinion, it could be biased. But don't really come back here that often, but it's definitely improved, I must admit. Even like these road markings here for bikes, just little things like that really help and go a long way.